अरे देव ब्रो, क्यों इतना दुखी है?
देख तो सही इतनी सारी बारिश, मुझे पता होता तो मेरा ट्रिप कैंसिल ना होता।
अरे ब्रो, तुझे हार्बर वॉच ऐप के बारे में नहीं पता क्या?
वो क्या होता है?
ये ऐप तेरे बहुत काम आएगा ब्रो।
क्यों?
Introducing Harbor Watch, a coastal threat alert dashboard that helps assist disaster management authorities in understanding the huge chunks of data that they receive and make wiser and more effective decisions based on them. The problem that we're aiming to solve is the lack of an infrastructure specifically targeted to these authorities, because what Indian Meteorological Department provides is clusters and clusters of unorganized data, sometimes which is focused on larger area, for example districts, and does not have a proper coordination to the smaller districts or smaller level areas that these offices locally may cater to. So we've also solved the problem of Google Maps, Google Weather, using it only for the end citizen and making no application for these people who are taking the action here. So we have tried to simplify their entire approach and working by making an assistant kind of dashboard that firstly gives them a huge threat map. Now the unique thing about this is that it's a smaller localized threat map which is focusing on a 35 by 35 kilometer stretch. For example, in this case we have used the coastal area of India in Gujarat that has a huge number of ports which are contributing billions of dollars of uh, trade money to Gujarat's economy. So what it does is that in these area, if there are any active alerts, it would firstly flag it as critical or warning, or just to put it on watch based on the severity of it, and then it would issue this warning like this. Because of this, the authority gets a notice of that. Furthermore, you can check the exact metrics that are happening in that particular area. If you go to view graphics, you can check tidal height, wind speed, water temperature, barometric, cyclone risk, algae bloom, etc. When we open this, we see a graphical representation of this over time. You can see the current one, you can see the peak, low, and average for every metric that we are giving. This makes the understanding of data easier, more effective. Furthermore, you can have the AI decision assistant, which basically recommends an action plan for the authority to take. When an action is taken, for example, activate emergency operations center, they can either execute it or choose to ignore it. When they execute it, it goes into the operational logs as completed, and what that means is that there's a saving of whatever action the person is doing. When you go to the full guide, you can see each and every action that can be taken. Now these actions are suggested by an AI model which we have not yet implemented, but it can be done in future by expanding there. Right now it has an absolute set of actions that we can take. In the operational logs, we can export the CSV of every action that has been taken, so that in the case of a mishap, there can be a forensic analysis of this, and then the forensic authorities can look into what actions were taken and what were not. Finally, the most fun system here is the AI chatbot. What this chatbot does is that it simplifies information in case the authority does not understand it or is new to this entire system, and it can answer each and every question regarding the data here. For example, if you want to ask what is the status in Okha, it will give you this information which is provided in our data. If you want to ask what do I do now, then the chatbot provides us with priority actions, which is, for example, restrict board departures at 4 hour, port authority to enforce status check at this, preposition this, etc., etc., etc. So this chatbot is linked with Llama 3, which is the most powerful AI system which uses large language models to answer these questions based on whatever data we have and whatever prompts we have provided them to before. This is basically a system which simplifies whatever support is there, and you can choose to export the CSV as we discussed before. You can choose to filter out these logs based on the priority and the time. You can search the actions here, that is also working. So that's all. If there is a system that helps the disaster management authorities make their work easier, make smarter decisions for them, and take these huge clusters of unorganized data and make into something that they can understand easily by just a look, then this is our system, and it deserves a look. It was made by team Runtime Terrors. Our teammates are Vismay Shah, Chauhan, Sruja, Brahmbhatt, and thank you very much.